Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you're up for a quick impromptu short stream. Hopefully everything's chill. It's going to be a short one today. Hopefully that's okay with everyone. There's less prep I can put into the Sunday streams, so I end up having to... Let's turn this down. It's really loud. That's why these are typically a bit shorter. Because I can only stream now. So anyway, I think to leave off what we were doing yesterday. Oh, I do not have the chat open. Let's bring that open so I can see all your lovely chat messages. Fantastic. Right. Cool. Change that to live chat. Okay. We have fixed a bit of lighting. It's still not ideal, but yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's a bit weird when you get on this side. Not quite happy with it, but it's fine. It's fine. Better than it was. We have got the frame rate up. That was 2 streams ago. Let me just adjust something else briefly. So we're going to try and fix the textures. So obviously you can see 2D textures. This is a 2D texture on a rock model or whatever. The problem with this is this is the only type of texture that seems to be working right now. And as soon as I tried to use a different texture sampling method in my shaders, we ended up with a completely different... things just don't sample, basically, and we end up with black. Now we've cleaned up all the resources, we can start investigating that. I have done a bit of research just before this stream. We have the skybox fragment shader, which is what I've been trying to fix. For some reason, when I sample over a cube sample, we don't end up getting what we need. So, yeah. If I change it to 2D as well, assuming that I adjust all the functions in GLSL that actually support that, we do get something. And also if I add in the... Do I have test color in here? Yes. It's part of a UBO. We do get the color I set, so we get like green. So it's not that... so just for those who are unaware why everything's just gone green. Obviously looks terrible when you turn off that, but... this cube, it's a cube map, so it's a cube that rotates with the camera and doesn't move, but it's drawn first, so everything's drawn on top of it. So the effect is that the player is actually surrounded by a tiny little cube with 0 depth, which is kind of cool. Meaning that it's always drawn, no matter where you go, you can go as fast or as slow as you can, you're inside this cube. So green is obviously not what we're after. We're after a texture. But yes, when you're sampling over a cube like that, you need to set the layers and all the buffers up so it actually supports 3D, a 3D cube texture, right? So, but these seem to not do anything, right? So when I index into this, I can index into it with any value, so like 0, which is where it should be, honestly. It shouldn't be... instantly get a validation error, interestingly. Never seen this before. Do you have 3D textures? I haven't found a use for them. They're in there, but none of them work. I'm not going to use any voxel stuff. I just want to have it so I can actually sample over 3D textures. Hi Ratchet Badoy, hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining on a Sunday morning. Interesting. I wonder why you can't do this. It's weird. So it's a 2D. Shouldn't this be a cube? Huh. Array 0. Yeah, okay, so the setup looks wrong. That's what it's telling me here. Interesting. All right, let's dig into it then. So that's what we're gonna do today. I've heard that you can use 3D textures to do something with lighting, and that's something with lighting I don't know. So that might be just me not knowing. So what was the error? So the image view, the global, what is this? Kind of interesting. Oh, so this is, yeah. So let's try and fix this. And I'm not doing a image, okay. We have, so this is an image view type, not, so that's the image. Okay. So we create a texture. Is there initial data? This is our staging buffer. Makes sense. Assuming this isn't wrong, which I don't think it is, because we would get a different type of error. But maybe that could be wrong. Let me not assume anything. I think we get the issue here, which is kind of scruffy in the way that we do this. There's no fences or anything. Cube maps aren't 3D textures, by the way. They are a view over a 2D array texture. Yes. And I think I've separated them. I think I made this mistake initially where I tried to use a 3D texture to do this thing, which I just need a what is it called? A list basically of 6 textures that needs to be rendered. I mean, I wonder if no, I'm gonna not worry about that for now. I was gonna think like, well, it's a cube, right? So you can render like 2D textures on it. Yo, how you doing, dude? I'm back. Great. Remember I sent you some notes on cube maps. I assume you still have them. Oh, I don't remember. Obviously you did, but I don't. Are they in the resources? Let me just check. So we're just checking. Just search. This. No. Oh, this. Yes. Found it. Yes, I did. I remember now. I put them in the... Where did I put these? That's the buffer device address. I think I've lost some of my notes on this, unfortunately. Because I was looking for them early today. Okay, so we have this. Which isn't what you sent, though. Anyway, we have them here at least. Yep, I think I did. Right, let's just dig through this, and I'm pretty familiar with that. I just don't know why we're not sampling, basically. So if I look, so we have a... If this is equal to 1, then flag 0. Yep. So this is the setup, I think, when we actually start doing stuff. So I'm just going to make sure that we actually get everything correct, based on what I was reading earlier. So, and I can refer to this too. So flags, image view, extends, yeah. Right, yeah, image layer, layer counts, array layers. Where's the array layers? And this is for creating an image. Yes. So these are the same. I remember that's true. It maps as one array. Okay, so this is the same. This should be 6. One. Now I wonder if I do the memory barrier properly. That's another thing I'm going to check. I don't see. This is the problem. I don't see anything wrong. That's why I can't. Image layouts. Why is that undefined? What is that? Okay, this is what we write out when we do this. So when we not that. When we create a texture, we have a data structure that actually has the data in. Yo, Frosty. Yep, tag. How you doing, dudes? Yeah, not bad. We're just trying to debug some textures today. It's a bit of a short stream. Glad you made it. We'll see how long we go on for. Yeah, Sundays are hard to prep for because I finish at 5 on Saturday and then have to start. The only time I can stream realistically is in the morning on Sunday, so I end up with less prep. But it is what it is. I get more on Monday, so I can't really complain. Because I write a bunch of stuff. Usually before the stream, so I'm not just umming and ahhing around and getting confused. I mean, that's going to happen inevitably, but you know, I can at least try and mitigate it a little bit. So that's the image size. Yeah, it's important that I get... I wonder if I've got that wrong. The image size and... what was it? The layer size and the image size? Bro, did you have a discrete maths / structures in uni? What was the best way you learned it? I did not, but I kind of taught myself afterwards how to do that. I have a book on the discrete maths. I haven't opened it in ages. I don't know what it's called. I can grab it if you want me to tell you what the book is, but honestly, I just kind of went through it. I didn't go all the way through it, to be honest, admittedly, because I felt like it was getting less and less relevant to game development, but I at least went through so I could start to do basic proofs and stuff like that. I will have to literally get up and kind of leave the stream for a minute to find it. I'm completely blanked. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be back in a minute. Back. It is called Discrete Mathematical Structures by Bernard Coleman, Robert Pudsey, and Sharon C. Ross. So that's what I had. Starts off with naive set theory, and then kind of goes from there. You also have to start with proofs on sets of numbers, all that kind of stuff. That's where it starts, and it kind of branches off. It's very good for if you're doing like computational computer science stuff, like proper computer science stuff, which is good. It's not as useful for like graphics. I wouldn't say not as, it's not like completely unuseful, because there is graph theories and stuff in here, which, you know, you have to set up stuff like DAGs in graphics and all that kind of stuff, so that does exist. And obviously you need data structures in general. But I just took some time away from programming for a while and just kind of decided to do a bit of maths. But yeah, discrete mathematical destruction. I have the 6th edition because I got it kind of recent-ish. Yeah, I just kind of went through that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yours is more computer science orientated, discrete maths. And it's applications 6th edition. I see. Well, that's probably better, honestly. It's I did a lot of my discrete maths. I recommend doing something like Python with discrete maths if you have to do some kind of computer science. Just because well, I mean, you can use any language. Like, it's just a lot faster to do a quick program, execute it, see if it works. I mean, if you're really competent in any language, it'll be very good. But I did a lot when I was. That's how I learned Python, and I basically don't know Python anymore because I haven't used it in ages. But that was a while ago now. All that. Anyway, yeah, I'm very rusty at discrete maths and proofs. If only I can remember everything. It's just a paper that requires us to do it. I see. They make us learn it as a maths, like the same way you learn calculus and stuff. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you're doing a computer science course, you've got to remember it is a science. I know a lot of people don't see it that way, but so it makes sense that it's in there. And it's not like it's not valuable. Like, for example, if you knew it really well, you would be better off if you didn't when it comes to programming. But you know, I have to be careful with what I learn. I would love to sit down and just learn stuff willy-nilly, but that leads to disorganization. Sorry, I'm in the graphics pipeline here. Where's the textures? Okay. So destination optimal, we do the staging buffer. I'm just wondering if I'm copying the wrong amount of memory. Or something like that. I'm doing software engineering. I know computer science. Or my uni has a different discrete. Yeah, okay. That's it. I did software engineering too. Yeah, technically my course is not a computer science course, the one I did. And I basically spent most of my time developing a physics engine, so which was fun, but not relevant to the course at all. Where is this size set? Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any study strategies, honestly. I just kind of went through it. I had to go back though and study some other maths because I didn't quite. There's a lot of assumed knowledge in the book I was reading. And that's why I kind of went, It was fun at first and then it stopped being fun. Trying to think, where is the size used? Because I'm just wondering if we're copying like the wrong amount of memory or something. Let's see. So that's the depth. Image offset, yes. Layer count equals 1. I think that's wrong, right? If it's a cube map, we should be doing 6. Right? That's as far as I can tell. Let me just check. Layer. Oh, don't you have layer count in here? Give me a second. Because yeah, I might be not copying everything over. It's in texture creation anyway. I just thought I'd use that instead, but yeah, layer count, there it is. Defaults to 1. So this shouldn't break any of the other textures, but oops, layer count, right? Oh, sorry, Ratchet said something. Yeah, there is calculus knowledge and functions you need to know to get into discrete. Oh, 100%. That was where I was a bit shaky. Like, looks like you're only uploading to 0 layers. Where do you see that? Is this what you're talking about? Because I'm not entirely sure. Oh, base layers. No. Let me check. Let me check my texture creation stuff, because I want to make sure that when I actually do a copy, it's the same deal. So layers is 0. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. So what's array layers? Let's look. Okay. You failed your first calculus semester, so I'm trying to learn discrete maths from 0. Oh, yeah. It's same here to me. Well, I had to learn it before calculus. I don't know calculus very well. I'm going to assume this and this needs to be the same. Right? Because they are. As far as I can tell. Well, I didn't, just for anyone who knows, I didn't basically... I think in university I learned up to trigonometry. It was really strange. We kind of stopped at a strange point, and then everything after that I kind of taught myself. But I kind of taught myself anyway. I didn't teach. No one taught me anything. It's not like I went to a lecture and got explained stuff. I'm just wondering if what I'm doing makes sense. Alright, I'll just see what happens. We'll get the validation. Layers is 1. Layer count is 1, but provided dummy texture. Oh, dummy texture. Layers being requested are 2. For the dummy texture? Did I make a mistake here for this particular texture? I'm glad I've named everything. Thank you for that suggestion, by the way, Ratchet. It is super useful. I would have assumed that it was something to do with the cube texture, but it's really not. It's this texture. So the texture creation, we have initial data. Where is the layer count? That should be 0. I mean, I don't think that's going to fix it, but array layers is 1. I did an online university thing. They wouldn't let me into any universities. Yeah. So when I say I taught myself, I literally mean it. There's a really strange. All the courses were. It was fine. I mean, I can't complain too much because this was the only university who let me in. But the courses were a bit. If I was to criticize it, the biggest thing was like the courses didn't connect to each other at all. So there wasn't any like, I don't know, programming 1, 2, and 3 type things. You know, like how courses would lead into each other. It was like one course would end and then another course would be on a completely different subject. So, like I could have done networking, for example, in that course, like randomly in the middle. Layers. Is it the same error? Sorry, I didn't quite. I don't know if that changed it or anything. I see. Nice. Yeah. No, it's the same. It's the same dummy texture. It's the same error. Interesting. Okay. So maybe all my textures are kind of balked in some particular way. So apparently this was what? 0 and 0. 0 and 1. So when it comes in to here, what are these values? Well, it's cool that you got 3 universities. 1 and 1. What's the other thing I changed? That and... I think I'm getting this mixed up, maybe. And assuming that this base layer array is the same as... I just haven't done textures in a minute, so you're going to have to bear with me kind of fumbling about a bit. Lack of prep. You copy base array layer plus base... Oh, let me close that for a minute. So you copy from base array layers to array bit. Yeah, let me look at my notes. I think with that plus my notes, I think I'll be able to understand what's going on a bit more. So what am I going to do here? It's the staging buffer stuff. Okay, when you want to transfer data from one buffer to another. Yep. Setting up a staging buffer. Okay. It's important to note that creation of buffers into functions, if you're planning on doing this. Okay, that's not what I care about though. It's I think what I need is actual my texture stuff. Yeah, okay. Now let's transition to memory. Preparing image. Creating an image view? No. Samplers. Okay, so this is what I think. Well, so this is very, unfortunately, a bit vague. That's talking about the memory, which I kind of am aware of. What is the buffer region thing need to be? This should be quite basic, but So I'm just trying to figure out where would I put these notes. Oh, okay. So that's the image. Usage. Yep. Samples flags. So the allocator. You gonna go and study? Good stuff. Hope your studying goes well. I'll tune in next time or later. Yep, see you, dude. Base array layer to base array layer plus layer count. Let me see. If I throw in layer count plus layer count, maybe? No, let me just check something quick. Okay. Back. The staging buffer, image size, buffer info. Okay, let's see. Why is this 0? This is the thing I don't understand. Right, I'm gonna just kind of look at the documentation. I'm confused by this thing. Okay, so for both, yeah, VK copy to image. Okay, so that's the direction we're going. Which direction are we going? Oh, I see. That's like bidirectional. This is the bidirectional one. Okay, so the buffer offset is the offset in bytes, which I've set to 0. Yep. From the start of the buffer object where the image is copied to. Yep. The row and height specify the texels, a subregion of a larger 2 or 3 dimensional buffer, memory buffer, and controls the addressing calculations. If either of these values is 0, the aspect of the buffer memory is considered tightly packed, according to the image extents. Right, yeah. So I say they're tightly packed. So the sub-resource is specified the sub-resource of the image. And the rest are the extents. And right, so this is what I'm kind of interested in. Okay, so we have aspect, is it? Yeah, okay, so that's obvious. MIP levels, base array, layer, and layer count are the starting layer and the number of copies. Oh, okay. Right, that makes sense, I think. To do that, as far as I can tell. No. And it's has an array layer of 1. Ugh. And 2 layers are being requested. 2? Why are there 2 of them? I'm confused now. It's like almost it wants this, which just goes back to 0. Also, the image size would be incorrect. It seems to be enough for 1 layer out of 6. Oh, yes. That's what I've been questioning at the moment. What's this? Why is this complaining? Right, okay, we'll come back to that one. We'll leave this as 0 for now because it wasn't crashing, but I'm going to come back to this. Maybe that's why it's not working. Because we actually need to do the image per pic. So this is the image size, and we also need to do how many layers it is. Which should be just 1. Nope. Layer counts. So that should be 1 for everything other than the, what is it called? The cube map. I'm just going to see how that, oh, hang on, I also need to fix something. Which would be the value in the fragment shader. Needs to be this thing. And that's not going to blow up now. Hi, how you doing, Glue? Glue Sniffer, that's a mad name. We're just debugging our skybox at the moment. Yeah, so it looks like that is... Let me turn off the color, because I'm just assigning a color here. So it's overriding the texture thing. Okay, so it's black again. Which, as far as I can tell, is obviously not right, but... So let's go back to the debugging what we're actually copying. Where is... Nope. Okay, we're just gonna have to... I thought we would... Okay, here we are. GPU device. I thought it was GPU device. Okay. As far as I can tell, that makes sense. Okay, so let's read the documentation again. Base array and layer are the starting layers and number of layers to copy. So this is the starting layer. And that layers to... Oh, hang on. This might be the other way around. This might be layers to copy is 1. Starting layer is this for some reason. Image... Nope. Layer counts. And we should leave that alone, I think. Okay, so we got a validation error for what? So there should be in layout destination optimal, but is in undefined. Where does that happen? Okay, so we're going to have to throw some debug options in. Isn't that the whole point of this? It wants what? Destination optimal? Oh, that's the same thing, right? Yeah. I might get rid of these functions and do my own. But let's just see if it's the what image it is. So we transition. We do a copy apparently. We transition to shader read optimal. We end the command buffer, we submit that to a queue. We wait the queue go idle. What texture is this? The dummy texture. This is I'm GUI font. Alright, so we're going to skip, I think, until we get the skybox one. Yeah, okay, this is it. Because it's 6, right? And this breaks now? No. Okay, it does. On the... Oh, yeah, when it finishes, when it actually executes. Okay, and it wants what? Expecting destination optimal. Instead is undefined. So it's dying on this command. Because what we transitioned is not transitioned. Does transition image layout transition all? Probably not. You know what, that's probably... This is the problem with these functions. Nope. Okay. Thanks for that, Ratchet. That was insightful. I kind of just want to pull this out, to be honest. Okay, so for now we'll just be lazy and see if it works. So we just need a U in 32 layer count. Yeah, a big monolith transition function can go wrong like this. I don't know if... Again, we got to be careful with the base array, but I think... it's the same. I'll look at the memory barrier sub-resources again. I don't know if it's the same literal documentation type. But anyway. So now we just need... Sorry, I've completely blanked. Layer count is the second to last argument. So layer count and layer count. So that'll transition everything, and the other it's complaining here for a depth. That's very simple. That's always going to be one. I don't think we're going to ever have a multi-dimensional texture that's just depth. So we'll build that and see where the other errors are. Oops. I am already running. Okay. Let's see if we get crash. Okay, so that's better, meaning that we're doing the right thing. But I don't think we got it right, obviously, because that should be. As far as I can tell, we should be seeing something. Anyway, okay, so the next thing, again, we need to just keep looking at this because there's mistakes everywhere here for this particular type of texture. So there's going to be more, I think. Okay. What are these arguments? There's no region counts. Okay, 1, which is great. So you have a staging, source, destination, image. That's the actual VK image, yeah. Let's just check the actual... So I don't know what the sub-resource barriers, sub-resource range is. Is this the same thing? No. Okay, so slightly different meaning. Okay, so aspect mask is what we want to be in. Okay, so that's the MIP level. That's the MIPS level again. So the array layer is the first layer accessible to the view. Is the number of array layers starting from base array. So I go from 0 to 6, which is 7. Is that right? No, because if that was wrong, every texture would not work, because it would be 0 to 1, which would be technically 2 states. So I think the transition is correct. Maybe not. I mean, I could. There's probably there could be a subtle error. Let me just check the validation is on for synchronization and that. Just to absolute. Okay, yeah. Right. Yeah, go from 0 to 5. It's called. Yeah, I thought so. It was a bit odd. You go from 0 to 5. It's called layer count, not last layer index. Right, yeah. Let me try that. Let me just do a very lazy -1. I'll just see if that... Okay, it throws up. And I think that's because everything else is 1. So, again, just allow my laziness to... This is equal to 1. We do 1 else 5. Okay, yeah, just tolerate me being lazy just for this one test. Okay, so we didn't transition one of them, it looks like. Okay. Hi Turk. How you doing, dude? Turklander Sigma. If I were to learn coding from scratch, which language would you want to learn first? And how would you learn? That's a big question. I would first ask yourself what you want to make. Because if I say, for example, C++, but you want to make websites, that's probably a really terrible idea. So if you ask yourself, oh, what do I want to do with the programming language? And if you're not sure, just any is a good place. I started with HTML, and it's not really a programming language. HTML, CSS. So I was coding yeah, I'll just say coding. I was coding HTML4, so it wasn't even HTML5, which is what everyone uses now. It's just it's an old HTML format. And now I'm learning, now I can do C++ and stuff. So it's not like you can't change later. So it's not like a big issue if you decide that you wanted to do web, but then you regretted it and wanted to do games. There is some transit. There is a decent amount of crossover, especially at the beginner level. It's really weird that the two most popular recommendations are Python and C. Interesting, it's C. Yeah, Python makes sense because it's easy to get into. But it's just slow for me, so I don't really... Python's good for, like, I want to test this maths thing. That's what I've used it for, like, just writing math proofs. But... when you want to do like serious engineering, it's not as good. Right, okay, so maybe it needs to be minus if. So yeah, Ratchet's a really good programmer, and he started with C. So you can honestly start with any language, to be honest. But like I said, if you want to pick something that you want to do, and then pick the language that they use for that. Which, you know, for programming games and game engines, it's typically C++, but Rust is also an option if you wanted to use that language. It's just not as well documented and not as well documented. Sorry, that's a extremely. I gotta be very careful here. There's less tutorials out there for newer languages. Although Rust's been around for a long time, it could be extremely well documented. Don't even know. You'll just find more resources for C++ because it's been around for longer. If you wanted to learn that. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, I've got to be careful with my words right there. C++ doesn't really have any documentation there's no central documentation hub that I know of. There's just like websites that document stuff. If you don't know why the borrow checker is needed, then you will hate it. Yeah, that's true. You might actually hate it for that reason. Rust is looks like it assumes you know other languages. There you go. Yeah, C++ reference is one backed by the working group. Oh, is it actually backed by the working group? I see. I didn't know that. I thought it was a separate entity. So yeah, C++ reference is great for exactly what it describes. Referencing C++. So we have 5. Oh, this is also needs to be -1 though. This is really awkward. It's getting really scruffy. Hey, how you doing? Nikhil, how you doing, dude? Hope you're having a great day. Oh. Yeah, that's just gonna... this is... You know what, let's just make a variable up here. This is just gonna be easier. Layer count. Because I just multiplied by 0. Which, yeah. With this here. So if this is equal to 1, then 1, else 5. Multiply. And this is now this. Much simpler. Now I can pass this in and not do any weirdness in the actual function itself. We just do layer count. And that should be good. So we're just testing our textures right now. They're not working. Sorry, cube textures aren't being handled correctly. So I'm just trying to dig through that and fix what I've got wrong in the past. Okay, so everything isn't broken, but it's still not working. Okay, let's think about... Yeah, so 0 to 5 is 6. That's the actual size that we want to copy. Yeah, that makes sense. We're doing a sequential auto, nothing crazy here. We allocate the buffer. We create a command buffer that we're going to use for one thing and then delete it. MIP levels are 0 for sure. Okay, so let's dive into the transition image. I think we're okay on that front. So these are the MIPs. This is where it starts. I'm just going to make sure that we transition this, not transition the image, but like actually build up the pipeline properly. So when we're doing this transition, we're moving from undefined to destination optimal. Oh, hang on. There's another layer here. Right, okay, so this is also 5? Right, let's look into this again. Just going to look at some documentation. Thanks, you too. I learned C a few months ago between wanting to learn C++. But it is as hard as people say. C++, So you've learned a bit of C, and you're thinking about learning C++. Is it as hard as people say? So one thing, I don't actually know what people say about it. I think C in itself has a lot of difficulties when it comes to handling memory safe, right? I feel like that is the hardest part of... Not the hardest part of C totally, but I think the most common hard part of C is that. So like if you wanted to copy a buffer of memory from one thing to another. If you can do that, and you're coding in a not procedural. Is it procedural? Yeah, it's procedural. In a procedural way, where it's like top to bottom. You can code C++ exactly like that. There's no reason that you would need like classes and stuff. C is a general purpose language, and you could use it in any way you would want. And I wouldn't let anyone tell you that you need to learn C++, so you have to do X, Y, and Z, right? I think you should be, in my opinion, this is just an opinion, you should be taking a language that you're trying to learn and targeting basically what you want to do with that language. So, I don't know if you want to do games because you're learning C, alright, C and C++ or whatever. But you can code very much like in C and still make games. You don't have to do all the object-oriented stuff that people tell you that you need to do and stuff like that. That's true. You can do object-oriented programming in just straight C. Because you have objects, right? C++ can get really dense and difficult, but it's all just there for you to be able to do a thing in the actual language. So if you don't need to learn X, Y, and Z, then you can just kind of leave that. It's different for like getting a job. Like sometimes the interview wants you to know everything, and then yeah, that's a whole different kettle of fish. But if you're just interested in learning, like becoming a better programmer, you know, just learn the stuff that you need and learn it well. Learn the stuff that you need. That's just an opinion, though. I'm not going to tell you to do this and that. But that's what I would personally do if I just learned C for 3 months. What am I looking at? It is the array layers. Yeah, it's a number of. I feel like this needs to be 5. That's all. Oops. Because if I'm saying, is it? No, hang on. Array layers. No, I think that should be 6. Because I don't know if that's the total arrays or like last. I'll do a quick and another. Got a 1. 1:5. Let's see what that does. I'm just going to see. No. Yep. Sounds good. No confusion there. I just don't understand why, even if we've copied the wrong amount of array layers, why it's just seeing black. Let me just look around the skybox. Hello, how you doing, Frog? Hope you're having a great day, dude. Thanks for joining us. Just debugging some textures. So I'm just going to look around just to make sure that there's nothing. No. I've got to find it. There'll be some kind of like stupid. That's the mip maps. That's the layer count. The image resource is. This is not the when you're making the image view. You make the image with 6. You make the image view a 2D texture. Oh no, the image view. Image view create info type. Wait, I swear I might have check and rent. I will actually. That's brilliant. Actually, wait, I swear I have joined your streams on Twitch, where you've been making games in Godot. No, that is not me. One, I've never streamed on Twitch, and this is a custom game engine. I'm sure that guy is very cool, whoever it is. But yeah, that's not me. Maybe we have similar names or something. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's boot up RenderDoc and let's see what we're actually supposed to be displaying here. Yeah, escape point imposter. Yeah, I'll have to take him down. There'll be a fight to the death soon. Yeah, it's my evil twin who uses game engines. And that's how you know he's evil. Anyone who uses game engines to make games is evil. And not really smart, because that's the fastest way to make games. Yeah, that's some copium right there. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to make a release build so we can see something in RenderDoc. RenderDoc is a debugging tool to see what the GPU is doing. It replays the commands, and yeah, that's what we're going to be doing next. So to do that, yeah, like I said, I've just got to get rid of all the debugging stuff that surrounds what I'm doing, because RenderDoc complains and it doesn't work if you have a bunch of things in the middle called validation layers. Anyway, so now I'm just going to make sure it runs by itself. I think I need to copy the shaders though, so copy the shaders to build, to the new build. Nope, that's not where you're supposed to put them. Here's where I'm supposed to put them. Replace everything. And does it run by itself? Yep, sounds good. The rocks are randomly placed each time, so there's nothing to worry about. Alright, I'm going to type in my password 123. Okay, so let's launch our application, load settings, and see, collect a frame, and close that. So I think everything's stable. It's not like we're getting anything that's terrible. So let's see, what do we got? So our draw is just black, but what I'm interested in is the mesh viewer and all that kind of stuff. And this is the direction we're facing, I think. Do you think Java or C# are good nowadays? I keep hearing that Java is around mainly because migration takes time. C#, sure. Java, there's a bit of a joke with Java. Yeah, the actual official slogan of Java is write once, run anywhere, right? And the joke is with Java. Write once, debug everywhere. Which means, you know, yeah. I don't know what the current market is, but what the heck is this? With Java, but I would say you're fine learning any language, assuming that it does what you want to learn, even if it is Java. That's just a joke, by the way. That isn't like you shouldn't be taking that seriously. I think this is I'm GUI. Because if I do this, yeah, that doesn't quite fit, does it? Anyway, so let's go through these, see if I can see it. I don't know. So we are getting some output, but I see the texture view. So the swap chain image. Okay, cool. So this is just where we're at, but how do I actually debug the particular, like a texture? Yeah, Android exists and Kotlin. Yeah. So there you go. If you wanted to do an Android app, try Kotlin instead of Java, but you can use Java for Android. See, I don't really know. I've been pretty isolated because I've just stuck with C++ for so long. A lot of people hop languages as well. I highly recommend not doing that. But you can do what you want, obviously. But I think it's better to get good at one, and then hopping to other languages gets much, much easier. Okay, so this is all fine. I can't see. Excuse me. Yeah, just draw. Just do what makes you happy at the end of the day. That's what I say to these type of questions. No, I don't think render doc's gonna tell us anything. Oh, hang on. I wanna see what these images are. Is there a 3D one that I can see? 16 bytes. Yeah, that makes sense for the dummy texture. Oh, there it is. Array texture, right? 2D array. Create image. Just make sure there's no cube. You know, it says cube right there and I'm just not looking at it. Let me just check I'm not doing something stupid basically with the... I just had a thought. To the image and the image type comes through. What does the image type need to be? You said it needs to be image view type. Needs to be cube. I wonder what I've set it to. Okay, so let me just go back to debug a minute. I just had a thought. Let me just turn these back on. Turn these back on and put a breakpoint here. I just want to see when I'm creating the image view which surrounds the image. So an image view just like is a container for an image. And I have a... I think I'm always saying it's an image to type. I don't think I ever changed this. Oh no, I do. Okay, so it is a cube. Okay, so let's just make sure everything's correct then. Going through this very slowly. So F2. Is it depth? Is it doing something stupid? No. What's this then? 6. And this is for the image view. Let me just make sure this is correct. Because it could be a 5 again. Because it has a sub resource range for an image view, which takes the because if it says the same thing, basically, like it's not the end of index, it's the actual. Okay, so I see something here. Okay, so the number of... Okay, I don't get that. For a cube or a cube array view, the layers of the image view start at this and face in order of all them, sure. For a cube array, which is not what we have, we don't have a cube array. Each of these 6 sequential... Right. I don't want a cube array. Yep. I'm just going to kind of skim read this. I'm just making sure that I'm... Right. I think... Yeah, okay. That's for a cube array specially. Trying to retrofit something in is a bit tricky. Right. No, not -5. One else 5. Because I think I've done that everywhere else. I just want to see if that completely doesn't know what's going on. This might not work either. I've got to check what this does. Okay, so I'm just going to let it rip. F. Okay. Sounds good. It's complaining in the way I want it to. So what do I need to do next? Oh, I've lost the chat. Okay, got you back. Lost you for a minute, guys. Let's look through this. So, oops, the music stopped. Let's restart the music. Thank you. So, not set resource name. What was I looking at? Oh, that is set resource name. Okay, duh. Ah, interesting. I used to just rawcast to 64, and it kind of apparently knows what that handle is. VK. It's the thing I don't quite understand. For this texture, why are we going to undefined again? We created... Let me just check something. Yeah, I had a feeling it was completely redundant. So for those who don't know, the red spheres are the collision geometry. That's why that yellow thing is bashing into things. Just, yeah, completely redundant. I don't... What else do I need to do right? Name, no. Format, sampler. So we're copying everything correctly. We weren't doing that before. But we're still just seeing black. Let me go into the fragment shader and change this to 0. What am I doing? I need to change the whole thing to 0. Yeah, that's not going to work. I don't even know if it's the 0th texture, but... So I'm gonna guess it's guesstimate it's 4 because we got the dummy texture and we got the other textures. Okay. Let's try a smaller number. 3. Nope. Okay, so we've hit something we're not allowed to touch. So the draw. So that's a non-VK. Sorry, so if I put in a sampler 2D version, this thing. Nope, sorry, this thing. That should obviously look terrible, but no. Implicit cast from Vec2 to Vec3. Where's the Vec? Are my textures all... Ah, we need text chords. And that's supposed to be the direction, so let's just change that. Back to... So I just need to see what textures what. So this is going to look terrible. I don't even know what this is going to look like. Alright. What text is this? That is... I have no flipping clue. That looks like UI. So that's probably IMGUI. Sprite sheet or something. Next. What's it? 1. It is white. Okay. Might be IMGUI again. 0. Nothing. That's probably the dummy texture. So I went to 4, right? What was that? Ah, there we go. This should be... This is supposed to be the skybox. Obviously it's not accurate even a bit, but... So it does exist in memory. But it can be sampled over in global texture. But as soon as I go to a cube, the this should be a 3. Yeah, it's a vec 3. Okay. It just doesn't display. So it is in memory. It has been copied. And I don't know why it's being done. Let's try messing with these values. It's possible that I'm just gonna how do you check these values again? You set the no, that's not gonna In 2D textures you can set the texture coordinates to what would that look like? So I'm gonna just set the texture coordinates to kind of like debug things. So this is like a way of debugging textures. Need actually vec 4. 1.f. And I just want to see, does that look correct for a cube? Seems to be good. What should the texture coordinates of a cube map look like? Ah, there we go. So it's red. And yellow. I think that's good. We should be seeing in a debug texture, you should see yellow, red, green, and black. I'm not entirely sure how the if this is I'm trying to think, would this look correct? Just zoom out a bit. So I'm at the corner right now. I want to be flat. Let me just yeah, okay, that works ish. Red. I'm gonna say yeah, because I can't exactly know, but at least the top corners are the right colors. If we saw like double green or double red or double yellow or something else, that is at least correct. The thing I don't understand is how. What I could do actually is let's break the vertex shader. This will make it incredibly obvious. And what I'm gonna do is literally just be like, position is equal to this. Oh no, we need that. So we're just gonna see a cube in the middle of the room. Just gotta find it. Just want to look at the other side of it. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. This looks normal. But everyone's like, what the heck is going on? I'm debugging a cube map which has no depth, so it's the first thing drawn and everything's drawn on top of it. So that's just why it's like, no matter how close we get, it's like everything's still drawn on top of it. It just gets smaller as things get further away. All right. I'm pretty convinced that's fine. Would you, sorry, what could you do to assign one color per, that's a really good idea actually. Usually you don't want to draw the skybox last. Sorry, I meant first. I meant to say first. I'm drawing it first with no depth. My bad. Right. Oh, usually you want to draw the skybox last. Oh, I want to draw the skybox last. Do I draw it overdraw? Huh. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. That's no problem. I'm gonna quickly, before I do anything, just give everyone who might be watching an invite to my Discord server if you want to join. Anyone's welcome if you're chill. But yeah, this is gonna be the end of the stream, guys. I'm gonna end it here just because this is a short one. Yeah, I appreciate everyone who came, and I'll see you in a longer stream soon. Yeah, so I'll see you guys.